可以扫描二维码，同时呢，您拿出手机，打开微信，在右上角的加号啊，在搜索公众号的页面当中呢，输入赛事进行时。那么在比赛进行的过程当中呢，这是我们现在屏幕上显示的这个关注的方式啊。那么在比赛进行当中，您可以使用 fans 互动下面的刮刮拿奖，参与弹出的信息来进行刮刮乐的互动。那么除此之外呢，您还可以刷朋友圈啊。这个朋友圈呢和我们平常不太一样，是叫做大屏幕朋友圈。您可以发您在场馆的一些照片啊，发您的自拍，您想对运动员所说的一些话，都可以通过大屏幕朋友圈来进行分享。那么您也可以在比赛的间隙来留意大屏幕，看看您说的话有没有在大屏幕上显示。那么还有一种方式呢，就是fans 互动下面的现场有奖这样一个活动。那么需要特别注意是，您需要和比赛现场来合照，就是您所上传的照片必须要涉及到比赛的现场。刚好呢，今天工信部发出了通知3大运营商呢都是公布了他们要降网费、提网速这样一个计划。那么为了节省您的流量我们不需要您上传完整的图片，不需要您上传原图，只需要把一个普通的标签的照片上传就行了。那么在比赛结束之后呢，将会有一个互动抽奖活动，将会抽取赛事组委会媒体专供的特刊，而且呢，上面还有中国运动员陈龙的签名。好，以上的3种互动方式，希望您在欣赏比赛的同时与我们展开互动，谢谢。
Deep within Hello and welcome to Dongguan in the south of China for day 6 of competition at the 2015 VIVO BWF Sudirman Cup, the World Mixed Team Championships. This is the 14th staging of the Sudirman Cup, and we've had 35 nations participating here this week. Those 35 countries were placed in one of 4 divisions, the placement determined by the rankings of that country's players in each of the 5 disciplines. This evening we have the Group 3 final. We started the week with 8 teams in this group. Those 8 teams were then split into 2 subgroups of 4. Every nation played every other nation within the group, and it is the top ranked team from each of those 2 groups who have earned the right to contest this Group 3 final. It's the Czech Republic, as you can see, who topped Group A, won all 3 of their matches. They beat Austria 4-1, the Republic of South Africa scraped through 3-2, and Turkey by the same margin. Their opponents this evening are Vietnam, who topped the other group. Unlike the Czech Republic, they won all of their matches. 4-1 against Switzerland, 5-0 against Italy, and yesterday evening a thrilling match against Australia. They came through 3-2. So we're all set for the Group 3 final. What an occasion for all the players playing today. This probably will live in their memories forever and a day. I'm Jill Clark. I'm delighted to say that I'm sitting alongside of Oliver Leighton-Davis, who of course is a current New Zealand international player. This is the lineup. We're starting with mixed doubles because of course we've got players playing in more than one event. Then we'll have men's singles, then women's singles, men's doubles, and women's doubles will finish off if we get that far, because the big difference between this, the final, and the group matches is of course once the tie is over, any remaining matches are not contested. So obviously with the best of 5 matches, when one team has won 3 of the matches within the tie, and no further matches will take place. We of course hope that it will go to the 5th. And Oliver, I know you've been in these sort of situations, a Group 3 final. As a player, you're waiting for your team to get underway. The nerves must be jangling. It must be a great occasion.
Absolutely. I think when you play events like this, you've been waiting for this sort of chance all week, and I guess that's what the team matches earlier in the week have been about, and you're looking to play well and hopefully progress to a stage in a final like this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, the players making their way onto court for the first of our matches in this Group 3 final, and as I was saying, it's mixed doubles. For the Czech Republic, it's Jakob Bittman and Elžbieta Bašová. For Vietnam, it's the same pair who's played all the way through the Vietnam campaign, and it's Duong Duc and Tai Thi Hongam. As far as the Vietnam pair are concerned, they've won 2 of their matches, lost 1 against Australia. For the Czech Republic pair, their performance so far has been exemplary. 3 matches played, 3 matches won. Now, we've been seeing this all week, haven't we, Oliver? The toss of the coin conducted by our umpire for this one, Edi Ruthianto of Indonesia. And virtually all players or pairs have chosen ends if they've won the toss.
Yeah, we've seen quite a bit of drift in the stadium this week, and the Czech Republic pair have chosen to start at the end hitting against the breeze, while the Vietnamese will be playing with the wind in this first game.
Yes, well, big debate as to whether in doubles you want to play with or against the breeze. Certainly in singles, I would say you want to play against the breeze the whole time, because then you can use your punch clears. Well, here is Jakob Bittman, 26 years of age, born in Prague. 76 in the world ranking at the moment with Bašová. They have been as high as 56. And I remember talking to both these players, had a lovely journey from the airport to Guangzhou when the World Championships took place a couple of years ago, and they were telling me that they'd received a scholarship from Badminton Europe to train in Odense in Denmark, and they were very excited indeed to be at those World Championships. Now, that just confirms what I was telling you. They've played all matches, mixed doubles matches, in the Czech Republic's campaign here, and they've won all 3 matches, and that is very impressive indeed. Bashova is just 21 years of age, and for the left-hander, well, she's 30, from Bac Giang in northeast Vietnam. Her partner is 25 years of age. Don't pay much attention to that world ranking, 202. That's just 3 tournaments they've got towards that. Their win-loss record for the year. They played their home international event, the Vietnam International, and lost in the 2nd round. Now, they lost yesterday to Australia's Robin Middleton and Lian Chu in 2 straight games. But I know you were watching that one, Ollie. I thought they played pretty well. I mean, Robin is a very experienced player, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he was really the difference in that match as well, especially in the first 3, and then he was able to find gaps at the net that, not to take anything away from the Czech pair, but I think they play a slightly different style to what Robin and Lian played yesterday, so I think it should be a more evenly matched encounter today.
Well, this will be the first meeting that these 2 pairs have ever had, so there's no past form to go by, but I know we always talk about it, Ollie, but we can't emphasize it enough. It's so important in team competitions to get off to a winning start. It sets the team in motion, and that belief that we can go on, we can win this final.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we saw that in the Danish match earlier this afternoon against the Japanese when they got up 1-0 in the mixed doubles, and it's no different in this Group 3 final here. If you get off to a good start, who knows where things can go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, players.
Now, Eddie Rufianto just stopping the players. He wants to make his announcements. We want the match to get underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Vietnam represented by Duong Bo Duc and Tahiti Hongam. And on my left, Czech Republic represented by Elzbieta Besova and Jakub Bittman. Vietnam to serve, Tahiti Hongam to Elzbieta Besova, love all, play.
So Tahiti Hongam getting this mixed doubles underway, the Group 3 final. And it would be very understandable if there was a few nerves right at the start of this. Oh, that's well played. Got to remember she's a lefty.
Service over, 1-all. Play left.
Oh, not ready. And that's also a sign of nerves, I assume.
Yeah. 2-1.
What was your feeling when you played team competitions? I remember commentating on you last year at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Did you want to be one of the players on the first match and getting the team out there, or did you want somebody else and playing later on?
Oh, sometimes it goes both ways. Like when you get a situation like this, I think actually you want to get out there straight away and I guess make the most of the occasion as well. But I think you said it before about the start, not only the start of the entire time, but also of the match. You want to get those first 5-6 points on the board and make sure your feeling is good and you're feeling confident.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good power play
4-2
from Jakub Bittman. It's interesting with the Czech Republic team. Bittman is one of the players who still plays all 3 disciplines.
3-4.
He's had success at men's singles as well. Runner-up at the Slovak International of 2012. Oh, that's a missed opportunity. Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that. Fabulous. What a rally. Now, I know you have played wonderful mixed doubles with your sister, and I understand that she's got 1 or 2 health problems at the moment. We all wish her well and hope to see her back on court as soon as possible. But those little half-court pushes that we just saw there, that is really the bread and butter shot in mixed doubles, isn't it? We see it so often.
Absolutely, yeah. And in the mid-court, it's where often games are won and lost. We talk about the focus of the front court and the doubles and mixed particularly, but the mid-court especially, being able to have the control to keep it the right pace so it just drops below the net and therefore cannot be, I guess, killed by your opponent.
Service over. 6-5.
But to take that one step further, you also need to be able to move the shuttle to both sides in the midcourt as well, from under pressure, being able to play it at the right pace, but also angle it away from the racket.
Yeah. And I guess that's a perfect example of what we're talking about. The key to that is taking it early. So for the male player in the partnership to really move as close as he possibly can to close down that midcourt area.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly, I think, in this hall from the end the Czech Republic are playing from at the moment, because it's a bit faster, the shuttles are more likely to drift over the back line. It's really important that you can close down the midcourt and force them to lift.
Yeah. Oops. Going off the frame of the racket there from Duong.
So it's over. 6-8. Out. So it's over.
That's a pity.
9-6.
Leading the top of the tape with the serve, taking all the pace out of the service. Yeah, she's proactive at the net, isn't she, Tai Thi Honggam? Oh, well taken.
So it's over. 7-10.
No, it's going wide. And again, in that rally, Ollie, it was the left-hander's interception that made all the difference.
Yeah, you said she's very active at the net, and she certainly is, and that's particularly obvious on her forehand side. That's similar to Lian Chu yesterday as well. Both very strong in that corner of the court, so I think if, from the Czech pair's side, if they can play more to her backhand side, it's certainly less dangerous, and maybe they'll be able to take the pressure off during the rally.
Yeah. Well, a 4-point advantage here at the mid-game interval. And do you always reckon as a player that by the mid-game interval you really should have settled your nerves and got into it, or is it's probably not that simple, is it?
It depends on the occasion, I think, also, but and how you played those first 11 points. If it's you put a lot of emphasis on the first 3 and they've been better at it, then the rallies have been really short and you're still trying to find your rhythm. But if it's a big slow haul, for example, you played some long rallies and you're comfortable on defense as well, then it's quite okay. You're often well settled even before the interval.
Yeah. So 11-7.
Play.
Well, this is a big haul. Oh, service front call struck above the waist, says our service judge, Liu Yun from China. I don't think it's been playing particularly slow. I mean, we've talked about the good drift, and there is quite a considerable drift. But I guess the bigger the haul, the more difficult to time the shuttle well.
Exactly. I think the NIA in Birmingham is a perfect example of that. And while it's a great place, one of the best places to play badminton in the world, it is a little bit slower, and you see a lot of long rallies because of it. But to continue with your point, sometimes it's really hard to settle when conditions are so different on both ends of the court. You have to constantly be making adjustments, and also to what your opponents are doing. So there's some matches where you just really don't quite feel settled
Yeah.
throughout.
10-12.
I know you've been talking to some of your training partners. Actually, you've been keeping training this week, even though we've stolen you to come and sit with us. But, you know, has there been much talk about a difference in the drift between
12.
our centre court that we're concentrating on now, and there's 2 other courts either side of our centre court? Is there a difference from other courts to this centre court, do you think?
Not that's been mentioned.
Okay.
Seems to be, I guess, pretty similar across all 5. From obviously the Czech guys have played on other courts as well, and it all seems to be pretty similar, which I guess is good. You
Yes,
don't have to
yeah.
constantly change.
12 all.
Well, this is a good comeback. I don't know what the coach said to Bittman and Bashova in the mid-game interval, but whatever he said, it's worked, because in fact they've gone into the lead.
13-12.
This is 5 straight points. Ah, now that is super.
14-12.
Knew exactly which third shot she was going to cover. Serve return and third shot, as we always emphasise, so important. Yeah, she guessed right as well on defence.
So it's over. 13-14. Service over. 15-13. Oh, receiver.
Fault receiver.
16-13.
Moving before the serve was struck. No, unfortunately, we don't have a chance to see that again. But look, I know she's missed.
Service over.
And of course, coaches would say to you and I, oh, you know, you can't be making mistakes like this at this stage of the game. This is the business end of the game. But the fact that she's going for it, I like, because it's going to make her opponents really think about playing back there again.
I agree, and especially it
Service over.
feels, or makes Ty feel that
17-14.
she can't afford to just rush the net, because once in a while it's going to come hard.
Yeah. And it's gone long. That's what you were talking about. Very, very difficult to
18-14.
control the lifts from this near side of the court as we look down. Yeah. Well, in the early stages of
19-14.
this, I thought it was Taiti Holgan that was really dominating at the front of the net, and now I think it is the Czech Republic player Bashova, and I think that's made all the difference.
Yeah, definitely. Her positioning seems to have improved a lot after the interval, and she's a lot more mobile, able to intercept a lot more shuttles. And if you, as a male player, particularly on the other side field, you can't get it past her at the net, it makes life really difficult.
Oh, dear me. That's a pity from the Czech Republic point of view.
19. Four. Service over.
That's a very, very
20.
loose serve,
Game point,
and it
50.
really got what it deserved. Look at that, way above the tape. So game point opportunities for the Czech Republic. Yeah, good smash.
Service over. 16-20.
Yeah,
Game.
Jakob Bittman doing exactly as
Was
you
game
suggested,
won by
Ollie.
Czech Republic,
Closing down that
21,
midcourt area,
16.
controlling, pushing down the side of the court. And their reward is the opening game, 21-16. In a little over 11 minutes of play. If there were nerves to start with from Bittman and Bachova, they've certainly disappeared now. Yeah, good communication. They were telling me that to get to those World Championships 2 years ago in Guangzhou, didn't have enough money from the federation, and therefore on their Facebook pages they set up something to try and raise sponsorship. They went out and did exhibition matches, and you've been talking to them earlier. I think they've also part-funded their way here, is that right?
Yeah, from my understanding that all the Czech team paid half of their trip to Sudirman Cup this year, so not the easiest situation for them to be in, but
No.
I guess it shows their passion and their drive that they want to come here and they want to perform, and they've been rewarded in this Group 3 final.
Oh, yeah, I know. Mandatory 2-minute interval.
Tightly. Cannot change. Okay. Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Well, such an occasion for these players, and the final of all groups here at the Sudirman Cup. I think they ought to instigate and try and get trophies for each division. Wouldn't it be nice? Of course, the Sudirman Cup is the World Mixed Team Championship. And the cup given to what was the International Badminton Federation at the time, now known as the BWF, the Badminton World Federation, from Dick Sudirman, president of Indonesian badminton for so many years and vice president of the International Federation as well. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a trophy for each division, for the country's name to be engraved on that trophy? And do you think that's a nice idea?
Yeah, I do. I think it would add to the occasion and increase, I guess, the motivation of something more to play for. And I mean, of course, the title of Group 3 champion can mean a lot, especially in your home country.
Yeah.
And the profile for the sport. But again, for personal satisfaction as a team member, and it would be something, yeah, that you would treasure.
Yeah. There certainly ought to be, and there maybe, I don't know. Are there medals for winning your group, the Group 3 final? I don't know.
I
There
don't know
should
either.
be. Yeah.
Four, 1.
Slightly too big a swing of the racket. Just wide.
That's nice from Bittman, though. He's just exploiting the space on the backhand side that you mentioned earlier.
Oh, good defence. Good rally. Yeah, no wonder he applauds.
3, 4. Cheers, Otto. Yes.
That's a good return. Now that's the sort of shot, if he'd played from this near side, it would have gone out the back. He can afford to hit those return of serves, give it a bit more of a hard push, can't he? He'll stay in.
6.
From that side of the net, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, it's a super idea.
7, 3.
at the moment appear to be making quite a difference with this drift.
Out. Service over. 4-8.
What do you always like, or what do you like doing as a player, as a doubles specialist? Do you like to choose the good end first, or what you perceive as the bad end first?
Often depends on your opponent. I think if you're a favourite heading into the match, then you can take the good end and try and hammer home your advantage straight away as you go a game up. But if you're playing against somebody who maybe you're an underdog, if you take the bad end first, give yourself a chance to get into the match. When you're playing better, you have the good side. And of course, if you have the bad end first, if it gets close in the third game, you're at the good end in the crucial periods.
Oh, well, just out of reach, really, to be able to control it.
6-9.
Oh, I like that. Well, she apologises.
9.
No need to apologise. That was absolutely perfect, that net shot. Oh, look at that. And he taps his head. Yeah, for Bittman. He knows he'd done the hard work. He'd worked for the opening. Yeah, good smash.
So it's over. 8-10. So it's over. 11-8 interval.
So it's Vietnam who have the advantage in the second game, but remember they had an 11-7 advantage in the first game and they couldn't convert. Oh, the coach needs to work his magic again. Oh, I understood that last bit.
Got that too, yeah. Come on.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Go. Thank you. 11-8. Play. Service over. 9-11. Go. Service over. 12-9.
No, probably right to go for it. That was a good serve.
13-9. Service over. 10-13.
Yeah, it's good work. Crouch defence.
13.
Now, a little earlier, Ollie, you were telling me that you had noticed that the Vietnamese player Tai Thi Hong Gan holds a very high grip. And I've just been watching it for the last couple of rallies, and you're absolutely right. Very high up the handle of the racket. Now, why on earth would a player do that?
I mean, obviously, the shorter the grip you have, the more power you sacrifice. So, of course, the trade-off for that is you do get more control, but also with the racket she's using is the extremely light model that Yonex have, and so her power is very, very little with that. So obviously she's looking just to control everything around the net. It'd be interesting to see. I can't see yet if she still has a grip that short when she's in the back line.
Yeah.
So it's over.
Well, you can't criticise it, because the other player that immediately springs to mind who does exactly that is Ma Jin, former world mixed doubles champion, Olympic silver medalist with Zhu Chen. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think it's definitely favourable to have a shorter grip as a mixed doubles girl for that control around the net.
So that's where I went wrong. It's a nice idea. But guilty of allowing the shuttle to come to him. In that opening game he was... Oh, that's well left. No serve, just short. The opening game he was really going to meet the shuttle. Now he seems to be waiting for the shuttle to come to him.
Service over. 16-14.
That's nice. Yeah, well played from Duong.
14.
Yeah, some nice variation of pace in this match. Nice blocks, nice little pushes. Look at that, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
18-14.
Look at that, sways the body one way, then reads the next one. Hits the shuttle the other. Delightful skills. It's going to go wide. 2 points away from this second game now.
14.
That's well taken.
Service over.
You trained in Denmark for
19.
some considerable time. You presumably came across this Czech Republic pair when they were in Odense, did you?
Not really, actually.
No?
They came to Jakob Bittman played one club match against
16,
Anika's team, but yeah, never really. Denmark's there's a lot of badminton players.
Yeah. Need a jolly good run on the Bashova serve. They're to win in 2 straight games, but Bittman has hit that just wide, and therefore there's game point opportunities for Vietnam to level this mixed doubles at 1 game apiece. Oh, it's an ambitious shot to try.
17-20.
Well taken.
18-20.
Oh, that is clever. Very, very clever.
20.
Well, well. Just 1 point in it now. 4th game point, I think. Vietnam, and on their 4th opportunity, they convert. It is indeed
Second
1 game
won by
apiece.
Vietnam, 21-19. 1 game all.
1 game all. Well, we thought this would be good, didn't we, Ollie? Yeah, we're being treated to something here. Okay, so now I'm not going to ask you the $1 million question. Who's your money on here? It's difficult to call, actually, isn't it, in all seriousness?
It is. I'm going to side with the Czech Republic, just because I think they got that second set a little bit tactically, I'm going to say worse, that sounds a bit strong, but not as good as they were in the first set. They've got the ability to push Duong from corner to corner on the rear court, because Tai just sits there on the tee. She doesn't really commit to a side, and they've been trying to do that, but I think they've been going 1 straight and then 1 cross. So he's ready for it. He can read the straight one and then cover the cross one, or if you go 1, 2, sometimes 3 straight and then cross, bring him forward first, so that opens up the court, because she's not really covering a flat drive with her racket. She's happy just to sit on the tee and cover the softer shot, but she's not really helping him out by covering the flat one. So I think if the Czech pair can do that effectively, then they'll take the serve.
Fascinating.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
So 1 game all. First match within the Group 3 final.
Final game.
This is vital for both teams. Oh, it's just long. Now there is where you wanted him to go straight again.
Yeah, obviously Tai was under pressure, but she still managed to cover it. If he goes straight again, there's a gap, and then he'll probably get the lift from that.
Service over. 1 all.
Good serve. Ah, she was alert there, though, the left-hander. Tai Hongam.
Service over. 2-1.
Never done it.
Service over. 2 all.
Well taken. My goodness. Well, I have a feeling that the Vietnam coach has seen exactly what you've seen, because I think that she has told Tai Hongam to be a little more active at the front of the court, because she's made a couple of real committed kills going towards the net, because you saw that she was a bit too static.
A little bit, yeah. It's almost her positioning was very central, which means she covers everything kind of okay, but she's never that dangerous. But yeah, like you said, took that one off the top of the net nicely, committed to her covering a flat one earlier in the third game rather.
Oh, service fault call, struck above the waist.
Service over. 4 all.
Oh, that's nice.
5-4.
I have to say, the number of times Bashova really reads and intercepts the third shot. Oh, it's absolutely extraordinary. Oh, now you see, this is where having a good understanding, because she was looking for the straight push, and for Bittman to be covering that net shot on the return of serve, they have an absolute understanding. It's tremendous. That's short. Oh, he's got it back. Good rally. Oh, he's missed it. A wide open court.
6-5.
He didn't have to go that close to the line. It was clearly out. Oh, yes. Well played.
Service over. 6-7.
Well, the way this has developed, it is so intriguing. Well, I've been trying to argue for years the importance of the woman's role in mixed doubles, and, you know, the number of people who've said, yeah, but it's the men that set up the rally from the back of the court, and, you know, it's only the women that finish it off from the front of the court. But I think this match is proving my point. I think that the big difference in the rallies is when one of these two women, like that, beautiful control from the women.
7-all.
Yeah, so good, isn't it? And she doesn't get tempted to hit it hard when she has the opportunity. She just plays it down into the open court.
You're allowed to disagree with me, by the way,
I know,
as a male mixed doubles player. Or should we continue that over our cup of tea tonight?
Quite possibly, yeah.
Nine, 7.
Well,
7.
the margins between success and failure at the elite level is tiny. Look at that. Hit the top of the tape but fell back his side.
The second match on court 2 will be women's singles.
Yeah, you can see that short grip. We had a lovely view of it there. That's landed in. So on a run of 4 straight points, 7 all it was, and now 11-7. Vietnam a lead in this mixed doubles at the change of ends. I suppose the psychology, you know, we were talking, I was asking you about which end you'd like to start if you had the choice. This is always a bad thing psychologically if you are behind when you've been at what you perceive the good end. And yeah, how do you deal with that?
That's a good point. If things obviously haven't gone well, if you've ended up on the bad end and behind as well, but I guess the million-dollar question, and one we'll probably never know, is did the Czech pair choose the good end to start with, or did they choose their bad end as they perceived it?
Oh, that's clever. That is brilliant.
12-7.
Lovely play from Duong. I suppose really when you're out there playing, you know, and yes, it would have been a very conscious decision which end you want to choose to start, but at the change of ends and when you're in the middle of a game, a third game, surely you're so focused into the game that actually these sort of thoughts and these things I'm posing to you now don't actually enter your head, do they?
Yeah, they shouldn't, should they? It's,
no.
Yeah, especially when you've played from both ends already, and
yeah,
you're definitely well settled into the match now. If you're not, you probably never will be. So.
Yeah, but I think all 4 players, I mean, I've been very impressed, you know, because this is such a big stage for them. You know, it's such an occasion, you know, the group final. But they have all settled in well, and you know, it was, you could see one or two nerves from the start. Quite frankly, if you hadn't been nervous, I would have been a little concerned.
14.
Exactly, it's human nature to be nervous in these situations. And I think, yeah, you're right. We've seen a pretty good match.
Yeah.
So far, we've seen some good first three play, especially from the Czech pair. But during the rallies, I think the Vietnamese have won more when the rally's gone past 4 or 5 shots.
He's struggling with his serve, though, isn't he? Yeah, have a little
9,
practice serve as you
14.
pass the shuttle back. Duong. Oh my goodness me!
Service
How
over.
good was that?
15-9.
Serve not to the tee, making it a little awkward, looking for the straight reply.
Service over. 10-15.
Yeah, and it comes back to these fine margins again, doesn't it? That just a fraction loose to the mid-court area, fraction too high.
Service over. 11-16. Service over.
Yeah, well, she mustn't get dispirited.
17-11.
Bashova. She's played well, and she's played well by going for it at the net, so she's got to stick to that. Now, I'm sure the Vietnamese coach spotted exactly what you spotted, because I think that Tai Thi Hong Gam has been a different player in this deciding game.
She's got in between a lot more often, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Play.
Yeah.
Service over. 12-18.
Well, in the match against Austria, Bittman and Bashova came back from 15-19 in the third game to win 21-19. So they're not afraid of
18.
coming back from a losing position.
Yes, that was on Monday, wasn't it? Yeah, a little bit of frustration there
19-13.
from Bittman. Yeah, she's
20.
just
match
lost her
point,
touch at
13.
the nets, and now match point opportunities for Vietnam. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That is nice.
Service over.
And it's a tall order.
14-20.
Still another 6 match point opportunities for Duong and Tai. Oh, look at that return. Oh my goodness me. Brilliant. What a defensive shot when you're match point down.
Game.
Disappointing way for such a good match to end. But victory for Vietnam in the opening match of this Group 3 final. 3 games needed, coming from a game
Match
down.
won by Vietnam. 16-21, 21-19, 21-15.
The umpire, Eddie Rufianto, confirming the score. 16-21, 21-19, 21-15 in the deciding game. What a good battle that was. Obvious disappointments for the Czech pair of Bittman and Bashova, but all credit to Vietnam. Kept their composure And they've got their team off to the winning start that they wanted. 41 minutes for 16-21, 21-19, 21-15 in the third and deciding game. So the perfect start for Vietnam against the Czech Republic in this Group 3 final. Next up, well, I know this is a match that both Ollie and myself are looking forward to, the men's singles. Peter Kokal against Nguyen Tien Minh. Then we'll have the women's singles after that, then men's doubles and women's doubles, if we get that far. We certainly hope we do, because we want this to go the full distance. So the men's singles will, of course, regular badminton fans will know all about Nguyen Tien Minh, the 32-year-old from Ho Chi Minh City. World Championship bronze medalist from 2 years ago. First man from his country to play at the Olympic Games in the sport of badminton. But then Peter Kokal of the Czech Republic, well, he's a very interesting gentleman as well. We'll just wait for the players to come onto court before we talk more about them. But Ollie, with the first match complete, you know, you've probably been in these situations before. If you're one down in the overall tie, and do you feel extra pressure coming onto court if you're the second match on?
I think it's natural to feel a little bit more, especially if you're one behind. It obviously things could be a better situation for you, but you also feel a little bit more determined as well. You're thinking, right, it's my turn now. I've got to do my job and make sure that I can put in my best performance and hopefully turn that into a 1-1 result after your match is completed.
I like that. I like that attitude, because so many people, of course, there's pressure for the players coming onto court next, but you've immediately turned that into a positive and said, I'll probably even be more determined. And that's really good character. That's why you've been so successful. So here come the players, led out by the Vietnam #1, Nguyen Tien Minh, been the #1 player for many years now. In fact, really the catalyst for the improvement in general of Vietnamese badminton. There he is. Well, I wonder how many years he will continue to play. He will certainly try and qualify for the Rio Olympics. I wonder if he'll want to continue beyond that. His whole style of play is such a worker on court. He runs and runs and runs. Jakob Sundberg from Denmark, the umpire. Look at the height difference between the two men. Peter Kokal is 29 years of age. So this man from Vietnam, the older of the two, is 29 in the world ranking at the moment, as opposed to this man who's 54. But Peter Kokal of the Czech Republic, back in 2010, was diagnosed with testicular cancer. Underwent surgery, underwent chemotherapy. Obviously had some time out and became a huge star in his home country because it was well publicised how he had fought back, how he kept positive, and I was going to say as a reward, I don't mean reward, as an honour for what he had achieved and the good example he set to so many youngsters in so many different sports. He was chosen to be the flag bearer at the 2012 London Olympic Games. I can't imagine what an honour and what a privilege that must have been to carry his country's flag. Now, as you can see, he only played the first match against Austria, and he won that against Matthias Almer in 2 straight games. And the Czech Republic have got 3 very good men's singles players here, and I'm delighted to say that they've all been given a chance to play singles, but Peter Kokal is their top-ranked player, so he's here for the final. Now, Nguyen has been as high as 5 in the world ranking, going back to December 2010, just 1 week, but to get into the top 5 in the world, that's impressive. And that makes his win-loss record for a year, I think, disappointing from his own very high standards. He's had 3 first-round losses in Malaysia, Singapore Super Series events and the Asian Championships as well. Now, he's played 2 of the 3 matches in the group. He wasn't selected against Italy, but as you can see, against Switzerland and against Australia, won both of his matches very convincingly. In fact, both of them, as you saw, under 30 minutes of play. Now, I'm quite surprised that these 2 players haven't met each other previously. They've both been regulars on the World Tour for so long.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Czech Republic, represented by Peter Kokal. And on my left, Vietnam, represented by Chen Min Jin. Czech Republic to serve. Love all. Play.
Jakob Simberg of Denmark calls for play to get underway. Peter Kokal of the Czech Republic nearest to us.
1 love.
Nguyen Thien Minh of Vietnam.
Service over.
And as far as Nguyen is concerned, well, so many firsts for him in World Badminton. First player from his country to win a World Championship medal, and that was fantastic, wasn't it, in Guangzhou, when he reached the semi-final. In the quarter-final, of course, he beat that thrilling match against Janor Jorgensen. My goodness me, that was absolutely incredible. 22-20 in the deciding game. And then, of course, lost to the wild card entry Lin Dan, the 2-time Olympic champion, in the semi-final. And of course, Lin Dan went on to win the world title. Now, that's nice play.
3-1.
Now, I know that you've been training with Kokal earlier this week, and I know that you know some of his teammates very well indeed. Have any clue as to what sort of tactics he's going to use in this?
Well, it was interesting actually. After we finished, we were watching Chen Min doing his practice, and he was playing drop shot, and he would come forward and play net shot, go back and hit a drop shot, and he would do it for minutes without making a mistake at quite a slow pace, and that's just how he trains. But also, Peter Kokal commented at the time that he's really not a fan of playing against his style. He just takes everything back and plays it back at a good speed. So Kokal can't use his weapons from the back line where he has his power and his attacking shots.
Yeah, because he's a tall athlete, isn't he, in Kokal? 192. That's 6'3½". Yeah. Given what you've just said, I'm not surprised he went for that net kill. Half chance, but if you just lift it, then Nguyen is just going to run and get it back and run a bit more, and so you might as well go for those winners. Any half opportunity, you might as well go for it.
Yeah, exactly right.
6-2.
Especially against a guy like Nguyen, it's going to be tough to. You're not going to run him. You're not going to outrun him. That's for sure.
One of the fittest athletes in world badminton.
7-2.
But of course, when you do try and take those half chances, it can go the other way as well, and you end up making 3-4 mistakes in a row, as we've seen a couple from Kukal in the last few points.
Yeah, but if he feels he's not going to win the running game, then, you know, of course when you start going for it, there's a probability of making more mistakes, but just trying to win, you're not going to win. You're just trying to rally, you're not going to win anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is a remarkable story about Kukal, isn't it? You know, testicular cancer, coming back, representing your country at the Olympic Games. Of course, he said that Lance Armstrong was one of his sporting idols, and he was totally and utterly devastated when the cyclist Armstrong admitted that he had been doping during his 7 Tour de France wins. Both athletes, of course, having suffered the same sort of cancer, and but he also says that Emil Zatopek, one of his sporting idols, now you're too young to remember Emil Zatopek, 3 gold medals in the 1952 Helsinki Olympics, 5,000 metres, 10,000 metres, and he was feeling so good after winning his 2 gold medals, he thought, well, I'll have a shot at the marathon. 1 gold in the marathon as well.
That's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable. And even I wasn't born then, but I've read about him, and I've seen footage of him. Well, this is not the start that Peter Kukal wanted, and it's definitely the start that this man wanted. 11-2 at the mid-game interval. And I make that just 5 minutes of play.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1,
long levers.
20 seconds. (11-2). Play.
It's gone long.
12.
See, he's not able to really move Nguyen all that much anyway, is he? Because there is such a problem with either you've got to hit a very high clear or lift, or it goes long, and that's the dilemma for the players.
13-2.
Yeah, so hard to keep the pace on the clearing, but still be able to find the back line, especially from the side of the court that Kukal's playing.
Okay, what do you do? What do you say to yourself as a player? I mean, I know you don't play men's singles anymore, which, you know, we're a little bit protected in doubles, aren't we? Because you can have a partner that says, you know, come on, keep plugging away. It's okay. We'll just play ourselves into the match, and okay, the first game may be beyond us, but we'll get ourselves settled. There's nobody giving him that encouragement. You're so isolated as a singles player.
Yeah, I guess it can be a lonely place if you're 15-2 down in the first, but I mean, he's been around a long time, and he'll probably say to himself again that, yeah, okay, the first game rather is gone, but I might try something different to try and work my way into the second, and so I can come up with a good start there.
16-2.
I mean, in all honesty, there's no way back in this opening game.
No.
So do you just say, do you try and work yourself into the match and get yourself settled, or do you say, okay, let's forget this, I'm just going to start when I'm down the good end, you know?
You can do both, I think. Often you relax a little bit when you're 16-2. I mean, like you said, it's a foregone conclusion that you're not going to win the first game, so you can try something different. You've got the opportunity to try some things. If it
Look
doesn't
at
work.
Nguyen. You cheeky. Did you see that? Lifted the shuttle and
16.
did a full sort of, oh crikey, that's good judgment, isn't it? He did a full circle and walked back to the base position. Now that's cheeky.
He did the same thing in the training hall the other day.
Did he? Oh, that would rile me as an opponent.
Service over. 17-3.
His confidence is pretty high when you're 17-3 up.
Yes. This is one of the things actually with this competition. We were chatting about it over a coffee, weren't we, just before this final started. The dilemma, you sometimes have a player that's so much better in world terms than the rest of the team. So the team get into a division, and for Nguyen, I mean, if you've been world number 5, you know, there's no doubting his capabilities and his class, you know, so it's sort of, one would expect him, oh, that's a good clear. That is a very good clear.
He just held it nicely, didn't he?
Yeah. But it's sort of, yes, it's a shame for Kokal because, you know, and for the whole final, because Nguyen is, well, he's a class above him at the moment. Yeah, well played.
5-17.
Well, just to give you an indication of how good Nguyen Tien Minh is in world terms, he's been in 18 finals, he's won 15 of them. And I remember the Thomas Cup back in 2012, Thomas Cup qualifying in Macau, when Vietnam played against China. He beat a certain Chen Long being the current world champion, and beat him in 2 straight games, 21-15, 21-12.
5.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah, and you don't go winning world championship with bronze medals unless you're not too shabby.
Yeah.
Service over. 6-18.
Oh, look at that.
Service over. 19-6.
Inch perfect. Look at him. Yeah, little margin for error. 3 inches inside the line.
It was a good lift from Kukul too, so that makes it all the more impressive.
Yeah, well, once the court mopped because he was down on one knee, trying to retrieve that. Game points aplenty for Vietnam and Nguyen Tien Minh.
Peter.
These umpires are sticklers for neatness, aren't they, in the kit boxes? Yeah, first game point converted.
First game won by Vietnam, 21-6.
21-6. And I make that just a little over 12 minutes. Well, I wonder what on earth the coaches are saying to the players. Nice to see female head coach for Vietnam. Head coach in Russia was female as well. Any others you can think of? You had a female coach in New Zealand for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, we had Ji-Hun Kim, or now Ji-Hun Ma, as she is, came to us at the last edition of the Sudirman Cup, and gee, she's good.
Yeah. Well, interesting that Peter Kokal back on course, eager to get going.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Second game. Love all. Play.
Well, it's absolutely vital, I think, as far as Kokal is concerned, that he gets a good start to this second game. Well, obviously, we have no idea what the Czech Republic coach was saying to his man. I suppose it's difficult. I suppose it's difficult as a player. I mean, if you've been on court and you've lost the opening game 21-6, and the coach is telling you things, they can always say something tactically, but in the opening game he was outclassed. Do you like somebody, a coach, to tell you, well, okay, I just want you to focus on this one thing, don't worry about the score, or do you want the coach to tell you something so that you can actually win the match? What's your preference?
I think from going in a situation where you've lost the first set by that much to go into winning the match, that's something that the coach, I think, should always have in mind. But I think first and foremost in a match like this, you need to find an area where you can play with Chen. Then it's not about winning your points yet, it's almost about not losing them. And you can't go from complete defense to complete offense straight away. You have to kind of work your way through it, at least to a neutral stage, and then you can start to work out where you can be dangerous.
Yeah.
3, 1.
And I think that's where the coach comes in as well. He's got to make you feel comfortable in the match, and I don't think Peter is at the moment, obviously with the scoreline how it is. So that's the first step.
It's just wide. It was a nice idea, but
4, 1.
A sideways drift, taking it wide. The fact is, sometimes it's just not your day. I mean, I've had matches where I felt great going into the match. I had prepared well, was injury-free, and for some reason it just didn't happen on the day. And there's no explanation. That's a nice shot. That's what you were talking about earlier. If he can use his height and use these acute shots without expending too much energy.
Yeah, exactly. If he can attack Tianmin with the steeper angles,
Service over.
then he's going to be much more successful, I think.
6, 2.
But he just hasn't been given any opportunities, has he?
No, not at all.
Service
That's
over.
good.
3,
Bit more
6.
of a body attack there, rather than attacking down the lines. Yes, that's well played.
4,
Well done.
6.
Especially from the side into the wind, if he plays his shots from there a little more into the court. So Tianmin, one can't play a tight net shot, but then has to also gets tempted into playing a flatter lift that he can get up and get in between and cut off, and that's obviously a lot more dangerous than if you have to jump up and get under a high lift.
Yeah, good judgment. Now, that's the return of serve, the push deep into the back corners, and you can afford to give it a bit more weight of shot on that far side of the court. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, I thought it was going to come back in for a moment.
Service over.
Yeah, he's annoyed at himself.
8,
Played
5.
the rally well until that final shot. Good judgment.
Service over. 6, 8.
And of course that's the other positive from playing that return of serve, that it is hard for your opponent to keep it in. It's easy for him then to just drift it long as well with the wind behind them.
Mm. Oh, there's a challenge. There is a challenge because it was called in, and Peter Kokal thinks that was a bit of an error. Oof. Gosh, that was close, wasn't it? I'd hate to be a line judge, honestly. Well, Hawkeye will adjudicate for us. Did catch the line.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. Nine, 6.
Yeah, it's been a great innovation for our sport to have Hawkeye to adjudicate on
10,
line calls in the instant
6.
review system. Time for more challenges.
I agree. I think that was a perfect example of the benefits of the system. Like the line judge made a great call.
Yeah. Pushed it just wide, so
11, 6.
Nguyen Tian Minh.
Interval.
There's a 5-point advantage at the mid-game interval here in the second game, having taken the first. Okay then, so what would how many challenges would you like to see?
I think 2 is a good number, because
What, per game or per match? Oh no, I want more.
More.
I want more. Yes.
Because because otherwise you can. I think we've seen them in tennis used tactically also.
But
But
I think at the moment, I think that there is a reluctance to use the challenge system because players are trying to save them in case they need them later in the match. And I think, but I can see we'll have to have a little debate about this. I think that 2 per game plus an extra challenge if it goes to 20 all. So very similar to tennis, you have 3 challenges per set with an extra 1 if it goes to a tie break. That's my theory.
That's true. But does that remove, I guess, the human element? Like, do you want it as a correction system in case you get hard done by, or does it create the chance for the players to really challenge everything?
No, they wouldn't challenge everything. I don't think. But this is why, I think starting off when it was brought into the sport, the international body probably weren't quite sure how it was going to work. We've seen that Hawkeye is wonderful for the sport, and I just think that if there were a few more extra challenges allowed, then, you know, I think that it would only be done at crucial times. And at the end of the day, sport has to be fair, otherwise, you know, sport isn't sport.
Exactly. I think everything should be geared towards ensuring that the right decision is made.
I concur 100%.
Whether that's, again, by human eye or with the assistance of Hawkeye, I think.
Yeah. Well, we love it anyway, don't we?
Yeah, it's a great addition.
8-13.
He needs a couple of more points right now and really make his opponent think, oh dear. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes the perspiration on the hand and the shuttle just somehow sticks to the hand, and the reason that happens is because the goose feathers are glued. There's a little bit of, I was going to say string, but it's not quite string. I don't know what it is really, but around those feathers to keep them in place, but that is glue. And sometimes if you have sweat in your hand, the shuttle can just stick a little. And that's why that funny old serve there. Yeah, it's a good smash. Jamming Kokal. Use of the body smash. It's a tactic that we see all the time in doubles, and I don't think it's used enough in singles.
No, I think it should be almost an even split between the sidelines, and, well, maybe not an even split, but more often, just because single players obviously are known for their defensive abilities to the side of the court, but often when you get a shorter lift as well, it cuts down the angle of the shot coming back, so you can then move forward and put pressure, or more pressure, on their return.
Sure.
Service over. 17-9.
Yeah, that's a good smash.
Service over. 10-17.
There's still time to come back, you know. This isn't over yet. He certainly needs a better serve than he played last time. And it is a good serve too. Oh, it's called out. There's a challenge. There's got to be a challenge for that.
He did.
Out.
I thought that landed on the line. Oh, it's so difficult to tell. Well, once again, it's mighty close. Oh, it was out. It was out.
Challenge unsuccessful.
Yeah, that's both his challenges gone.
Remaining. Service over. 18-10. Service over. 11-18. Service over.
Now time is running out now for Peter Kokal.
19-11. Is it okay?
No, that's perfect.
Service over.
Yeah.
12-19.
It's unusual for a big high serve in men's singles, isn't it? And that's probably why.
Service over.
So
20.
Match point opportunities, 8 of them to be precise for Vietnam's Nguyen Thian Minh. Oh, it's just long.
Game.
21-6, 21-12 for Nguyen Tien Minh. And a very disappointed Peter Kokal.
Match won by Vietnam, 21-6, 21-12.
Well, I've only had the pleasure of talking to Peter Kokal on one occasion, and he is a delightful gentleman, he really is. And he won't be disappointed, of course he'll be disappointed that he's lost, but it won't be the losing that's upset him, it will be the manner in which he lost, because sadly for him he just couldn't find his form, and an awful lot of that was because of the exemplary play of this man. Nguyen Tien Minh really didn't give his opponent any chances right from the start of the match. Oh, that's nice. Peter Kokal takes leave, and we can confirm the score once again. 21-6, 21-12 in a match just shy of the half-hour mark. So that, of course, means that Vietnam are 2 love up in the overall tie. So their confirmation of what I've just told you, Vietnam 2 love up in the tie. For the Czech Republic, they must win the next 3 matches if they want to win the Group 3 final. That is a tall order, and as far as Vietnam are concerned, obviously they only need 1 more match to secure this group final. Next up is women's singles, and if Pavlkova can win that against Vu Thi Trang, then we will go to the men's doubles, and then hopefully all the way to the last match as well, which of course is scheduled to be women's doubles. So here come the 2 women's singles players, led out by Zuzana Pavlkova, the 23-year-old, up against Vu Thi Trang from Vietnam. Vu Thi Trang, 22 years of age, although she'll turn 23 next Tuesday. So the umpire for this one, Liu Yun from China. Did you hear that, Ollie? Who chose ends?
Yeah, Pavlkova chose to play with the breeze.
To start with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. There she is. 85 in the world ranking at the moment. She plays a lot of tournaments, doesn't she? So this women's singles, absolutely vital. It's a must-win situation for Zuzana Pavlkova of the Czech Republic. And she's up against a player who's been in great form recently, Vu Thi Trang. So as I say, 85 in the world ranking, 17 tournaments for that world ranking. A couple of semi-finals last year in Slovakia and the US Grand Prix. Reached the final of the Jamaica International earlier this year. Well, she lost her match against Austria, and then won against South Africa, and then lost against Turkey on Wednesday against Neslihan Yiğit. So mixed fortunes for her, incidentally. Not only has she played the 3 singles, twice she's been in the doubles as well, and she's down to play the doubles here again as well. 58 in the world ranking at the moment. Vu Thi Trang, born in Bac Giang in northeast Vietnam, had a sister, Vu Thi Yen, who also represented Vietnam in badminton. As far as her win-loss record for the year, 4 tournaments, 1 second round loss, but lost her first match against Sabrina Gerfouet of Switzerland, and then won her next 2. And against Australia, played women's doubles as well, which she lost. And like her opponent here, they're both down to play the last match in this Group 3 final for women's doubles. So I was telling you that Vu Thi Trang has had some great results lately. May not seem great, losing in the first round of the Asian Championships here in China, in Wuhan. But when I tell you that she lost to the #1 seed, the Olympic champion, Li Shuirui, in 3 games, and then that gives an indication that she has been playing well. Just 1 title for the Vietnamese player. That was last year, Vietnam International Series event. Now, I was reading that she plans to retire from the sport this year due to financial difficulties. I hope those have been solved, because I think the 22-year-old from Vietnam has huge talent.
Yeah, that's far too young to retire, isn't it? Especially having just gone 3 games with an Olympic champion. And
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Czech Republic, represented by Zuzana Pavakova. And on my left, Vietnam, represented by Wu Shizhuang. Vietnam to serve, level, play.
So Vu Thi Trang of Vietnam getting this women's singles underway. Zuzana Pavlkova. More of responsibility on her shoulders. Now, did that come back in? Yes, it did.
1 love.
Yeah, certainly did. Good call, line judge. First ever meeting between these 2 players. Oh, that's landed in too.
Service over. 1-all.
I remember watching this young lady in the World Championships last year in Copenhagen as well. She reached the last 16, losing out to the #2 seed Wang Shaxian. And I think for a women's singles player from Vietnam, I think that's the first time ever a women's singles player has progressed so far in the World Championships.
somebody give her a sponsor.
Yeah. Yeah, I do hope that's been sorted out, because she is a huge talent.
3-2. Play. Service over. 3-all.
Unforced error.
4-3.
gone long.
Service over. 4-all.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, good net shot from
5-4.
Vu Thi Trang. It's amazing, isn't it, how, you know, you probably weren't aware of badminton as many years ago as I'm going to mention. But I can remember Nguyen Thian Minh at the Asian Games in Doha in 2006. In the team competition, he beat the top Malaysian player at the time, Mohammed Hafiz Hashim. And one of my colleagues said, you know, what on earth has happened to the Malaysian player? How on earth can he lose to a player from Vietnam? And I said, mark my words, this boy has got talent. He's really, really good. And it's incredible how one player's success can ignite whole interest. I mean, I'm relating and thinking to what's happened in Indian badminton right now. And of course, India have had a tradition in badminton. You had Prakash Padukone, then you had Saeed Modi, who won the gold medal in the Commonwealth Games, Pullela Gopi Chand. But there's been a bit of a lull, and the whole thing has been reignited by Saina Nehwal, and now they've got a huge number of players doing exceptionally well in virtually all disciplines. But as far as I'm aware, there was no tradition of badminton in Vietnam, and that one man, the man we've just seen in the previous match, Nguyen Thian Minh, has ignited players like this women's singles player. And it's wonderful to see the development of a badminton nation like Vietnam now contesting the final. Quite frankly, here in this Group 3 final, they're looking in a very strong position for taking the title. It's fantastic, isn't it?
It's amazing how, yeah, like you said, one person can just be such a catalyst for things to follow. And I think not only has he produced or enabled Vietnam to produce more high performance and elite players, but having played in the Vietnam Challenger a month or so ago, on the footpath outside the hotel they have badminton courts painted in chalk on the ground, and not just one or two, 10, 20 just on the footpath, and you bring your own net and you tie it to a tree and tie the other side to the fence, and away they go, and you come home on the bus after the event and they're all full at 7 p.m. in the evening.
It's incredible, isn't it? Yeah, and I suppose sports fans in New Zealand, certainly sports fans where I come from in the UK, have no concept of this. They have no understanding of what a huge sport it is, and you know, and therefore what it means to players to have this opportunity. You play on courts alongside the best players in world badminton. You're in a division where you have a chance of winning the division title, and this is a huge thing. It's, you know, people just don't have that understanding in New Zealand or the UK.
No, especially like, I think the biggest one is the understanding of the global nature of badminton, that it's played everywhere, from footpaths to high performance training centres to hobby players in good stadiums.
Yeah. Well, I read a statistic that badminton is the second highest participation sport globally.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
Football, or as the Americans would say, soccer, being the number one. And again, that's an astonishing statistic.
Service over. 11-8 interval.
Well, it's a good close game, but the advantage with Vietnam in the form of Vu Thi Trang. It's a nice angle, isn't it? Yeah, good. We were talking about the body smash, weren't we, in the men's singles? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, good Bitman, isn't it? Doing some of the coaching.
You said it yourself before, he has a singles background and he's still playing with
Court
threes.
1,
So
20 seconds. Court 1, 20
He
seconds.
did make me laugh when I was talking to him, because he said he really loves the mixed doubles, of course. That's where he's enjoyed most success, and still loves his singles. He said, but I only play men's doubles as a bit of fun.
I'll have to have some words with him.
11-8. Play.
So a 3-point advantage for Vietnam in this women's singles.
Service over. 9-11.
Good net shot.
Service over. 12-9.
Is there anything that Pavlukova should be doing differently tactically in this match?
Not that I've seen yet,
No.
to be honest. I think she's doing well so far, and in comparison to Vu's match yesterday against Joy Lai, she was able to hit a lot of shuttles on the floor with it. Not easily, but with more ease than she's able to today. And I think maybe she's having,
10.
well, it's never easy to come into a match where you're able to do that, and then next minute, the next day, it becomes a little bit harder, and you've got to adjust and to get back into your old, I guess, frame of mind.
Yeah, it's a good rally.
Service over. 13-10.
To be honest, I think the biggest problem for Pavlukova at the moment is just she's just not able to find the back line. Everything seems to be a little bit out, a little bit short.
That's a better clip
Yeah, that's
though, isn't it?
better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pity.
14-10.
Delightful. Absolutely delightful.
15-10.
Good disguise. Slicing across the feathers.
Play.
Oh, good defence.
Service over.
Backhand there from
11-15.
Pavlukova. Very, very good indeed. Normally, when you see a women's singles player especially turn and have to play the backhand action from deep in the backhand corner, you assume they're in trouble. But she got out of trouble very well indeed. Oh, look at that. Oh, she got it back. And again. Oh! What defence from Pavlukova.
15.
Well, look at that. Look at the effort. Scrambles back. How on earth did she get that back? And look at the reaction afterwards. Yep, she possibly would have got that. Look at the delight. Well, that's got to be a contender for play of the day.
Again.
over 16-12.
Well, I think that just proves what it means to these players. Absolute commitment.
Light.
Yeah. Not quite sure why she wasn't ready, but she wasn't ready. Oh, she's going to be spoken to. Yep, by the umpire, trying to get ready a little quicker. Yeah, maybe trying to do a little too much with the defence, do you think?
Yeah, the movement's just a little bit snatchy, isn't it? It's a bit fast rather than the control that she's trying to play the shuttle with. This is where you've got to have mental toughness, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, both players are playing really well and playing a big court and stretching and defending well, but unfortunately for Czech Republic, it's just Pavlíková that's always been the one making the mistake.
Yeah, I think she's got it in her mind that she's got to do something extra special, and in trying to do that, she's forcing herself into error, and she doesn't have to make it special initially. She's, as you say, she's playing well, but there's a whole lot of game point opportunities here for Vietnam. Yeah, well played.
Game.
Yeah. Vu Thi Trang of Vietnam.
First game won by Vietnam 21-12.
21-12 confirms the umpire. 15 minutes of play. And Vietnam just one game away from winning Group 3. Yeah, there's a little smile on the face of the, in fact, a big smile on the face of the Vietnam coach. Yeah, she's feeling pretty confident. Her team have done well. Yeah, when she does retire, Vu wants to open a cosmetics and fashion shop. But don't retire yet. You're too talented. You really are. We were talking in the previous match about a short grip. In fact, it was the opening match, the mixed doubles. Look at the difference with Vu Thi Trang. Lovely loose grip, long grip. A bit like the grip of the former world champion, Rachana Pintaron. That's a very long grip, isn't it? Very light grip, and somehow they're able to produce these lovely skills because they've got such a light hold of the racket. I don't know how they do it. I'd be dropping the racket the whole time, but it's lovely.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Second game, level play.
Oh, it's just wide, just wide.
1 love.
Do you think that Pavlkova should try a few more punch clears to the back of the court from this side, well, from that far end of the court?
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned before about it attacking. I think in that corner especially, you see again, Vu's quite late again. Well, that one's just wide, but she's happy to take the shuttle from a neutral position, really. She's not that aggressive in there, and especially when you're playing into the breeze, you can really put some pressure on without the fear of playing it too long.
Yeah. Oh, well, even being deflected from hitting the top of the tape, and still lands plumb on the line. That was better though from Vu Trang, wasn't it? Because she got behind that more. That's the big difference to the previous rally when you was explaining that she hits from the neutral position. When she makes the effort to really get behind it, then she's got options.
Absolutely, yeah, and she can put more pressure on Pavlkova, especially when you're hitting with the wind. Your shots are more dangerous and you're getting some more help too.
Yeah. Now, I talked in the opening game about mental discipline, and this is the exact moment when I want to see mental discipline from Pavlkova. That refusal, I'm not going to make an error. I'm going to force my opponents. Now I think she's overplaying it to the forehand corner.
Yeah, and a little bit short as well.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
But yeah, you're exactly right. A game down and 2 love down on the scoreboard of the whole tie. You really want to make sure you get off to a good start in the second game.
Yeah, drift from left to right as we look down on the court. And a 7-love lead. If you're a Czech Republic fan, you'll be awfully worried right now. Oh, that's clever. It is clever, isn't it?
8-love.
How many body smashes has she used? That's only the second, or I think it's probably just the second. Variation at the right time. Pushed it long. Oh.
9.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures. She's got to do something different. But what do you do?
To be honest, I think she's just got to start keeping the shuttle in the court. It's that simple.
Service over. 1-9.
And most of those 9 points so far have been from Pavlkova's mistakes.
Yeah.
Vu's hit a couple on the ground, but no more than that.
Oh, look at that net shot. Yeah, good judgment.
2-9.
Interesting development path from Pavlkova. Back in 2009 she trained in Kuala Lumpur and Andrew Chan, and from 2011 to 2014 she was another one of you players that went to Denmark. She was in Odense. Since the summer of last year she's been back in the Czech Republic. It's nice that you players get the opportunity to go and train in other countries and live in different cultures, different environments, but a training base where you can get really good sparring with a whole variety of different players.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, especially you get from coming from a nation where badminton rather is a smaller sport than it is, for example, in Denmark, although it's not the major sport over there either, but their knowledge of the game, both technically and tactically, are the two main areas. And when you haven't had that as a youngster growing up, to be able to get that and put it in your own game is fantastic.
11-3.
So to the mid-game interval with an 8-point advantage. Oh dear, look at that. Yeah, she's a little dispirited with herself. And the main thing they must do is keep her spirits high. But you say that badminton isn't the number one sport in Denmark. It's certainly up there. What's the number one? Handball?
Football.
Football?
Still, yeah.
In front of handball?
And then handball number 2. Yeah.
And badminton number 3? Or cycling?
I'm not sure actually, but yeah, badminton's definitely top 5, but
yeah,
I wouldn't be sure if it was number 3 even. It's surprising.
It is
Such
surprising.
a European powerhouse.
Yeah.
Or world powerhouse.
Absolutely. We have more people, considerably more people living in London than live in the whole of Denmark. And they can produce world-class players and... well, I better not say any more.
11-3.
Otherwise I'll be in trouble. 11-3. Second game, having won the first, 21-12. Ah, that's lovely. Good disguise.
Service over. 4-11.
Oh, that's a great backhand.
Service over. 12-4.
Yeah.
13-4.
So desperate to try and put her opponents under pressure that she's going for the perfect shot, and in trying to do so, that's why she's making these errors. And it's awfully easy to do. I've done it myself. Clever. That's nicely done. Well played, Pavlkova.
5-13.
That's good, isn't it?
Service over.
And it's that instinctive awareness, I suppose. You know, you can feel as you're hitting the shot that it's going to be a good angle, and therefore you instinctively follow up.
Yeah, exactly. She had complete faith in that shot, and I think it's one of the real quality characteristics of her game. Her shot quality is exceptional.
Yeah, look at that.
17-5.
Yeah, you seeing her play today, you know, you can very easily understand how she went to 3 games against the Olympic champion. She's got lovely skills, got good movement around the court.
Yeah, good control as well, especially on like the height she has on her lift. She's able to vary it,
Yeah.
Service over.
but also,
6-15.
and playing with the wind, keep it in the court.
Now that's the sort of pressure
Service over.
and deep play that you've just been
16.
talking about. That was nigh on perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's not easy to do from that side.
Yeah. 10-point advantage now. Overdone it. Yeah. Now, that was much better from Pavlkova, wasn't it? Because she wasn't trying to play the perfect shot. She kept the rally going, and in total contrast, all of a sudden, it's the Vietnamese player that says, I've got to go for a winner.
Yeah, exactly. She just moved the shuttle around, but at a good pace, so she didn't give Vu any opportunities to be dangerous. And then when she had half a chance, she tried to take it and missed it.
Oh, indecision. Yeah, that cost her dear.
Service over. 17-7. Service over. 8-17.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, was that cross court clear? Did the damage.
It's just smart, isn't it?
18-8.
And you're forced, from Pavlkova's perspective, you're forced into playing your backhand deep, and then against the breeze as well, it's only going to come up shorter and shorter.
Well, it looks very much as if Vu Thi Trang is going to win this women's singles, which is disappointing because you're not going to get to commentate on your mate, Milan Ludic, training partner and friend.
9-18. Play.
Yeah, I knew it as soon as it left the racket, it wasn't going to go over.
9.
Yeah, I like this fighting spirit.
Service over. 10-19.
And chances of winning this match are slim, but she is still fighting within the rally, and I like that. That's oh, that was going well wide. So's that. Yeah. Little clenched fist, indicating exactly what I've just verbalised. Yeah, there's the use of the body smash again. Clever play. And match point opportunities not only for Vu Thi Trang but for Vietnam in this Group 3 final.
Service over. 12-20.
Nicely done. And Vietnam are champions of Group 3. A very, very good team performance from Vu Thi Trang. Well, good in all departments today, but I did like the fighting spirit of Pavlkova. Yeah, look at that skill. It is delightful, isn't it? Such disguise by slicing across the feathers. So symmetry in the scoreline, 21-12, 21-12. And Vietnam can be very, very proud of their performance here this week in Dongguan. 32 minutes for Vu Thi Trang's victory over Pavlukova. 21-12, 21-12, and that of course means that Vietnam have won the final by 3 matches to love. And it means of course that sadly we won't see the men's doubles or the women's doubles in this group final. But it really has been a super all-round performance from Vietnam. There is confirmation that they started off by winning the mixed doubles. They had to come from a game down before winning 21-15 in the deciding game. My goodness, wasn't Tian Min and Nguyen good today against Peter Kokal. 21-6 that opening game, 21-12, and the man who's been as high as number 5 in the world really showed his class. But then, as we were saying, Vu Thi Trang has been in great form lately. A couple of weeks ago took the Olympic champion to 3 games, and today was just too strong for Pavlukova. So 3 matches to love, and a huge congratulations to Vietnam winning a Group 3 final against the Czech Republic. We of course will be back tomorrow. It's the Sudirman Cup semi-finals, 1 o'clock local time. It will be the defending champions and 9-time winners of the Sudirman Cup, China, against the former champions, Indonesia. Then of course in the evening at 7 o'clock in the evening local time, it will be the 3-time winners, Korea, against Japan. So both the semi-finals tomorrow of the Sudirman Cup. Do join us for those. But in the meantime, from Ollie Leyden-Davis and myself, Jill Clark, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Service judge, Zhang Peihua, China.